welcome back to the Tegiwa YouTube channel. Fresh off the back of our GR Yaris exhaust test, today we're doing an intake test. So we've got 7 different filters here today, ranging from open ones, closed ones. We've got Sprint, Eventuri, HKS, MST, ITG, Airtec, GruppeM as well, and we've got a Civex all-wheel drive diff controller as well that we're going to use on the dyno, so we can put it in burnout mode and take some figures. What do you think is going to perform well today, Matt?
Well, on the road, I think that the enclosed ones are going to be good. We've got the Eventuri and the Sprint, which we've already seen from other Yaris owners, giving really good gains. So keen to see what they do, but depends what you want, really, doesn't it? If you want the noise, then you can't beat an open filter, can you?
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting because people go for intake. Like, there's a few reasons, isn't there? Sound, the visual appeal, and also the performance. So there's 3 different factors there, and they start from £400 up to 1,300, I think. So there's a few different options there. So we're going to start unboxing some, do some data logs on the standard filter, and jump right in. So let's get on with it.
So the GR Yaris, as we all know, is a 4-wheel drive car, but they are notoriously hard to dyno in 4-wheel drive mode. So unfortunately, here we only have a 2-wheel drive dyno. So to make it a 2-wheel drive Yaris, we've got this Civex powertrain control unit here. This is a quick install into the boot, and it enables the rear diff to uncouple when we pull the handbrake. So we can just dyno it just with the front wheels on to make it super simple and super reliable. So we're going to chuck that on, get the standard car on the rollers now and see what it's making. Right, this is my GR Yaris, and here is a standard airbox. So first of all, just a quick disclaimer, you might notice this box in the corner. It's a DT UK Stage 1 tuning box. It is going to be disconnected for all of these because I know that most people won't run something like this. So we do have this blanking connector that's just basically bypassing that box and letting it all run as it was standard. So just ran it up with this standard airbox in place. It's around 277 horsepower, which is great. So that means that it does have an ITG panel filter in here, and the GPF delete from the exhaust test, I kept that on the car. So 20 horsepower overclaimed, which I'm really happy with. So some of the airboxes that we have today finish here, which is just at the end of this flexi pipe here, and some of them go all the way to the turbo elbow, which is going to make things a bit toasty for me, but that's okay. And so the standard airbox has a little feed here that just comes from this little vent in the grille. The standard one though, if you look underneath it, it's got holes in it. So some of the air path's a complicated thing, but some of the air, as far as I can see, that comes in here can just go straight out again. So a lot of the airboxes that we've got have a dedicated feed that fills this sort of void here, and hopefully should provide some good gains. So the MAF housing on this, we've got not too much of a lead up to it in a straight, but we'll pop the airbox lid off in a second and have a look. Afterwards we've got a nice straight pipe here. So what's important is that we get a similar sort of effect on the other airboxes for this to work as it was originally intended. It's okay to have it on a bend, it's okay to have it wherever you like, as long as it's sort of kept consistent, because you can calibrate your, the standard, manufacturers will calibrate their standard map to suit this in a particular orientation or direction. So we'll see. I think this is going to be the biggest effect, how we can make sure, how we can get the air smoothly past this and keep it repeatable. So right, so let's have a look at the under the airbox lid. So as mentioned, I do have an ITG panel filter in this. So as we can see, there's not an awful lot there before the before the MAF, so air's just going to be not the straightest, but again, Toyota have calibrated it to that, so we should be okay. And as I say, a lot when we were doing on the unboxing, especially the eventuri, they've done a lot of CFD, a lot of their own testing, so expecting that to work really well.
Okay, so on to our 7th and final intake is the GruppeM, or GruppeM, or no one knows how to say it, so if you know, let us know in the comments. This retails at £1,435, so it's the most expensive filter that we're testing today. And there's a bold power claim of 24.7 horsepower, which is the highest claim.
It is a big claim, but if you come from a Honda background like me, they were always the best ones to go for the EP3 and DC5. So yeah, I think there's a lot to this as well in terms of bits and way entries into the airbox. It seems quite a funky looking thing, so let's get it out of the box. You can eat them though.
What?
You can, yeah, you can. Yeah, I'm sure they're just like starch, pretty much.
Matt has just said you can eat one.
I'm not going to. You can eat broccoli. I'm clearly not a fan of that. A little bit underdone, is it?
Okay, so we've just unboxed the GruppeM, and yeah, the quality is amazing. Lovely carbon finish, high gloss. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a one-piece MAF housing and pipe here, which is the first one we've seen. They've always been two-piece and sort of stuck on and bolted on, bonded on, whatever. The MAF is right by that 90 degree there, so I don't know what's that's. I'm sure they've tested it, but I don't know. I guess that goes on the other side there to sort of smooth that transition out. So we'll see how much of an effect that has. But yeah, loads of fittings, a couple of nice stickers. It's got a K&M filter that comes with them, like all the GruppeMs.
Colour instructions as well with diagrams, which is always useful.
Yeah. And an Allen key.
And an Allen key. None of the others are giving us an Allen key. MST gave us an air freshener. GruppeM gave us an Allen key.
Yeah. So we're set really, aren't we?
That's it. That's bang it on the car.
Right, that's the GruppeM, or GruppeM, fitted, dynoed, fits really, really nicely. The only thing I wasn't sure about when I was fitting it is the lack of seals. It's kind of hard to see, but underneath, you mount this silver plate, this aluminium plate, to the MAF housing here, and there's no seal between the two. I did double and triple check the instructions, but the seal goes on the MAF. It's an additional seal for the actual MAF. So there's no seal behind there. There's also no seal between the MAF housing and the airbox. And that's fine because it's before the MAF. But there is potential for air to come in after the MAF, which is not great. That's exactly what a MAF is for, to make sure that every bit of air that goes into the engine is accounted for. Other than that though, no fitting issues at all. It fits really, really nice. Uses some of the standard rubber bungs like the standard airbox does, and just pushes in really nicely. It looks quite big and it's got quite a lot going on, but it actually fits really nicely and it isn't near anything.
It's got two openings as well, so you've got air going in here and air coming in from like the top of the headlight as well. And it looks mint, this one does, like arguably the best finished carbon fibre
that we've tested today. In regards to performance, it made 285.7 horsepower with 272.8 foot-pounds of torque. So, yeah, the most expensive but not the best performer.
Also, what I do like about them is that they've taken a fair bit of time to make sure that the weaves pretty much line up. Like, you know, it's two separate pieces and they're quite funky shapes. So, but they still all go the same way, and it's really nice.